Hello, everyone, and welcome to what promises to be an interesting interview today about a country that has great mining potential, but probably isn't on your investment radar. But I have someone with me who is hoping to change that. Meet Honourable Minister Martin Abucha, South Sudan's mining minister, who is joining me to provide insights into his country and his plans for developing the mining sector there. Honourable Minister, it is so good to have you join me. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Minister, I'm going to start with an obvious question, I think, but I think it's worth exploring anyway, and that's to really unpack why South Sudan is not considered a first-choice mining investment destination. Can you tell me, Minister, how is the ministry planning to change that?
Indeed, Laura, South Sudan has not been on the radar for many reasons. Historically, South Sudan has been a closed district since 1914. But now we want to change that. South Sudan is now an independent country. It's able to tell its own story, and we are very much open to be able to do that. And we have established a country with its own laws and regulations that is open to any investor around the world.
Thank you, Minister. So you did touch on the word legislation, and I'm interested as a second question to find out what legislation and policy does exist in South Sudan for the mining industry at the moment.
Indeed, before South Sudan was an independent country, we focused on oil being the major source of income for the country. But since we became independent, we decided that we should also focus on minerals. And doing so, in 2012, we passed the first Mining Act in 2012, which gives us the regulation, which gives us the laws to operate the mines in the country. And also in 2015, we established the regulations that are pretty much what is required to operate the mines in the country. And the regulations and the Act both work together, and they're not very far from what happens in the region. So the laws are very good, very friendly, and it's encouraging investors to come to South Sudan.
Excellent. I think that's one of the key criteria needed for investment. So great to hear, Minister, that you have all of that legislation and policy in place. I'd like to also find out, Minister, about the minerals in South Sudan. For those people who are not familiar with the country, what minerals does the country host that would be an attraction for the investment market?
South Sudan is endowed with many mineral resources, though we are still to uncover what we don't know. But we believe we have a lot of minerals, such as minerals for the new transition to green and cleaner energy. We have things like cobalt, lithium, nickel, gold, you name it. We have many types of minerals. We also have rare earth minerals. We also do have industrial minerals, cement, clay, marble, you name it. So as of today, we know we have about 23 types of minerals that we already know, but we think we may have much more that we don't know. Because we border the DRC, in Ethiopia, and Uganda, and Sudan, where all minerals occur. So we believe we do have a lot more minerals than we do have.
Excellent, Minister. And you mentioned a whole range of those that are now particularly interesting to the investment market around clean, green tech metals. So that's great news to hear. I do think, Minister, it's important to touch on some of the challenges that the country may still be facing, particularly with regards to perception from investors. And one of those is around warfare and a lack of security in the country. Can you tell me what is the status of this in South Sudan at the moment?
Indeed, South Sudan had a lot of security issues right after independence. But today, after the 2018 agreement, there's relative peace and stability in South Sudan. There is no more fighting in any of the mining areas. There is no insecurity. You can travel anywhere in South Sudan. No one bothers you. Our communities are very peaceful. They respect the laws, and they are very friendly to work with any investor. So there is no insecurity in the country at the moment. So, and we are promising to keep it the way it is, because our leadership has promised that they are not going to take the country back to war again. So the environment is very friendly at this time.
Fantastic. And Minister, I know we're going to chat many more times over the course of the next year and really talk about what South Sudan has to offer. But I think as an ending note for today's interview, I know that you are looking to host an event in South Sudan later in 2023 to promote your mining industry opportunities. Can you tell me what is your message in encouraging the industry to attend your event?
First and foremost, let me say this. South Sudan has the most virgin mines in the world today. Our mines have never been tampered with. All we have is really our local citizens looking for artisanal or alluvial gold on the surface or in the rivers. But our mines are completely fresh. They have remained intact. And if you're looking for any resource today that you will obtain at a very minimum cost, it is in South Sudan. You will not find it anywhere else. That's a country, that's where you need to go. Especially we're talking about electrical vehicles, the cobalt, the lithium, nickels that you're looking for. They are there. Talking about the copper, we have studies already undertaken for copper. We have over 80 million tons of copper reserve in one particular area. And we have a number of areas that have. So opportunities are immense and they're there.
Minister, thank you. So South Sudan has legislation and policy. You have great mineralization in the country. You're a peaceful nation, as you said. And I think that's it's just paving the way for great investment opportunities in South Sudan. And I do look forward to chatting to you more about some of these topics in greater detail over the course of the next few months. Thank you so much, Honourable Minister, again for joining me. Really exciting to hear about South Sudan and its mining potential and opportunities.
Thank you so much. And don't forget the hospitality of the people of South Sudan. They're very hospitable. So everybody who comes is highly welcomed.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you. Much appreciated.